Tonight's the night for football, everybody. The bright lights are on, the stage is set, and the crowd is ready. It's Monday Night Primetime on EA Sports. As the work week kicks off tonight, another week of football comes to an end with a Monday Night Primetime contest between the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears. And stopped on the run back of the 27. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Opening play, and Bo will throw. Gets it downfield, on target to Sutton. And he's going to be taken down, but plenty of damage already done.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
First run of the game for J.K. Dobbins. A small 4-yard chunk there. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a first down.
First down run, nabs him 5, now 2nd and 5. Running it again with Dobbins. Nothing doing on second. They get to him behind the line. Now it's going to be 3rd and longer.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead, well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. Now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
The Bears into the nickel for 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Complete beyond the marker. And he's going to set them up with a first down on a huge gain.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. A give to Dobbins out of the shotgun. And he's brought down after a great gain. That's going to set up 1st and goal.
You want to drain some of the excitement, some of the noise from a home stadium? It's exactly how you do it when you go on the road. Run it right down their throat from the jump.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. Dobbins goes the wrong way. He's going to lose several here.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Now from the 6 after that last play. Here's 2nd and goal. Nix off the play action. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. So they'll be left with 3rd and goal. Tough to blame him for that drop, Rock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
No look on his first look of the game, and now it's decision time on 4th and goal.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of him.
A 23-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
Look how well they were eating up yards and first downs. You know that kicker wanted to come out for a PAT, but he'll take a field goal, and he'll take 3.
Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And this drive will start inside the 25. Chicago bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. Williams starting with a pass here. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Now here's DeAndre Swift on the ground. And this is headed the wrong way. They're going to lose yards here, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Williams. Taken in by Chase, left side. And he's going to go out of bounds with close to enough for the first. But he is marked short, so it is 4th down and less than a yard.
All you can do is shake your head sometimes. Sure, the pass play works, but they come up just an inch or two short for the 1st down.
On 4th down, it's Torrey Taylor on for the Bears to punt this away. And he gets his offense in better field position here to start. Up close to the 30. So the Broncos headed out for their 2nd drive of the game. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. All right, Denver getting everybody set. So they've got 1st and 10. It's Nix out of the pistol. Completed over the middle. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
Hey, Kate, you know this from covering the Seahawks, calling their preseason game. When Pete Carroll was there, if he said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun handoff for Dobbins. Great work there to evade the tackle, but the rest of the run, pretty forgettable. No gain there.
That's got to be so frustrating for everyone. If you're fighting the good fight, you even rip through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Nix from the gun. He finds Ingram working downfield here. And the stop is made 3 yards from the end zone. It's going to be 1st and goal. They rip up a huge chunk of field as the downs reset. That's going to do it for our 1st quarter here on Monday Night Primetime. Just 3-0 is our score. Back to Soldier Field in just a moment. Time for our 2nd quarter. Let's see if the Broncos can capitalize in the red zone. They send a tight end in motion. Dobbins can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on 1st down. More to come.
Ooh, option play, 2nd and goal. And the defense holds him at the 2, Brock. He can't get beyond the line. Still a couple yards short of that end zone.
That's twice now where runs have not gotten them into the end zone, but you've kind of set yourself up. Actually, you've set yourself up really well for a little play action right here.
Stopped at the line on 2nd. Need to fight forward 2 more yards here on 3rd and goal. Nix. They're trying to set up the screen. Dobbins. Touchdown, Denver! The Broncos make it a 9-point advantage. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown.
You know, it's great, Kate, to draw up plays that have all sorts of different options, but it's even better when you don't have to get to your second read. His first broke open just like they planned, and that's 6 in the end.
That one right down the middle. And the Broncos make it a 10-point ball game. this away. Devin Duvernay to return it. A decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. The Bears offense out there for their second drive of the contest. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Brock. It's 10-0 partway through here. Bears making their way up to the line. Here comes 1st and 10. Williams on the play action. He's got it deep downfield. He's got them quite the game here, partner, as he finally is brought to a stop.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were, and the QB just nailed it.
First down throw by Williams. Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away.
Brings up 2nd and
10. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Williams from the gun. Short pass brought in. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Motioning the tight end now. Here's Williams again. That one's nabbed by Kmet. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's a Chicago 1st down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. Man, did he make an impact play.
1st down, Williams. Throwing the out route complete. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
Hey, you like these results on 1st. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on 2nd down. That playbook wide open.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Running behind center with Swift. They stop him just in time. He got back to the line, but denied the yard they needed. 3rd down coming up.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, they got a tackle behind the line, but a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
7th play of the drive now as they need a yard here on 3rd down. Going run again with Swift. And they're going to have 1st and goal as he gets this down to the 4. This one goes for 3 yards. And that gives them 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Swift. Can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
So from the 3, here's 2nd and goal. Again, it's going to be Swift. And the defense wins this rep. That's stopped at the line, and now they've got 3rd and goal.
Okay, this is going to be a fascinating call because defensively, you've stopped the run twice now, and I think you believe on that side, well, they got to put it in the air. But this is also where the offense could say, we got 2 more shots. Let's continue to pound the football. Can't wait to watch this one.
3rd and goal. It's Williams. And that's going to be brought in. Touchdown, Chicago. The Bears make it a 1-score game before halftime. DJ Moore, the touchdown. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
That one splits the uprights, and the Bears cut it to a field goal game. Set up and it's away. Just a three-point game now. This return starts at the 5. And he's brought down just inside the 25. The Broncos get the football. Not a lot of time left in the half. Holding just a field goal lead. Probably going to see them play it close to the vest in the time we've got remaining. Broncos to the line now. It's 1st and 10. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. Ball's out. Ball's out. He lost it. But the Broncos will get it back. Heads up play to recover that one. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Following the fumble and the recovery, here comes 2nd and short. Shotgun snap to Nix. Mims with the grab. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Now Nix. Roll left side, taken in by Adams. And they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's 2nd down.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Ball's going to remain at midfield as he is stopped at the line. No gain. Timeout taken by the offense. They're 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Here's Nix. He's got Sutton complete. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Now the Broncos take their 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
On the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. To throw, here's Nix. That's dropped off for Dobbins. He takes this forward a little to about the 39. That tackle made by Tremaine Edmonds.
A gain of 4 brings up 2nd down at the 39-yard line.
That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Here's a return from the 7. And in the end, he's able to get it to about the 25-yard line before he's hauled down. The Chicago offense with the football first to begin quarter number 3. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. Chicago bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. Williams off the play fake. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
This defense, they had a plan, and they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Out of the shotgun, a give to Swift. And he used all the space he had, got him around 8. That sets up third down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, here's Williams. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
These QBs make it look easy, but that requires such a large amount of body control when you throw it on the move. You got to be able to get the same accuracy you would if your feet are set. Sure takes a lot of repetition to make it look easy.
Isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
Another try following the sack. They're on him again, and he goes down again. And back-to-back takedowns behind the line of scrimmage set him up now with third down.
Kate, I don't know if I've ever told you, but my dad was a driver's ed teacher. And I could just hear him right now say, son, take this out of reverse and put it in drive, because this one's going nowhere right now. A drastic change on this play needed, and maybe a whole lot of luck to keep this series alive.
Lobs this one deep down the left sideline. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Kate, challenging this guy in a close game, you are tempting fate. He got one hand on it. He gets two. It could have gone the other way.
Chicago brings out the punting unit. And this is the second time he's been brought on to kick it. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. Broncos running their offense out once again. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the second half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every first down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
Knicks now on 1st and 10. Finds the football outside. And they get to him a good ways downfield from that line of scrimmage.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them the first down.
On the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Play action with Nix. He gets a lock behind one, deep downfield. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. They send Mims left. Second down. Here's Nix again. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled for a short gain.
A 3-yard pickup. And it's third down.
And the Bears bring in an extra defensive back for this third down. Nix to throw again. He has the first over the middle. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. and nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They'll run on first down with Dobbins. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Out of the gun, it's Nix. Quick slant, caught by Sutton. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And the Broncos will have a first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Dobbins gets it off the option. Got the give on his own read, and the defenders were waiting for him. He goes down for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
They kick the running back in motion. 2nd and 13. He's got the hook up to Adams. And this one does not go far.
Textbook hitch route. Hit him in the short field and deliver it once that defense turns their attention elsewhere. Okay, this is a low-ceiling play with a reliable source of yardage.
The Bears into the nickel for 3rd down. It's Nix out of the pistol. He lofts it deep right side. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. Great play defensively there to just get a hand in there and deny that touchdown.
That's exactly right. Active hands and aggressive mindset. As a DB, you've got to assume that every throw is going to be a touchdown, and you're the last line of defense, the guy that's got to make the play on the ball, and he just did.
A 46-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that'll double their lead to 6.
That's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2-for-2 for this kicker.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Here's Duvernay on the return. The tackle is made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. So just 1 quarter to go on Monday Night Primetime. The Bears have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Williams from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he'll get it up to the 44.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. They run the counter with Swift. They stop him just in time. He got back to the line, but denied the yard they needed. 3rd down coming up.
Hey, Kate, sorting through traffic, seeking out a runner, that is this guy's domain, and boy, does he know how to operate in it.
All right, looks like they're going to try to power this across. Goal line formation on 3rd and inches. Williams with the sneak. They were loaded and ready for that sneak, weren't they? They stop him at the line. No gain.
That's more than a must-get for a quarterback. I really put that in the always-get territory. Even if the defense knows what's coming, you got to be able to drive forward for at least a couple inches.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Running with Swift out of the gun. Now he danced away from one tackle, but unable to dance away from the rest of the defense. No gain on that play.
You know, that's so hard for me, Kate. That's the type of effort that deserves better when it comes to the results. It's going to show up as a negative run on the stat sheet, but that was not the runner's fault. He did all he could to fight to get back to the line, but this defense just kept swarming.
On play action, Williams. For this one on the defense. And it's as we expected, partner. We call pass interference, so put it at the spot and give him that first down. A fresh set of downs after that penalty. Here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Williams. Has it downfield. It's Chase. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. They get 27 on the play. And that's good for a Bears first down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about two things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
And he's short of the first after a mile gain.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates now as a receiver in the open field.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. To throw is Williams. And he has the Chicago touchdown! The Bears come through to tie it in the 4th. Caleb Williams, the touchdown!
Kate, we know you can do it in different ways in today's NFL at quarterback. Some with their brains, their processing, that anticipation and accuracy. Some could do it with their improv skills to create a play when everything breaks down, and he just put on a show.
That one right down the middle, and they'll take the lead.
13.
Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. Has this at the 6. And in the end, Brock, a pretty exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Denver set to take the field on offense. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. Oh, man, nothing for him again, Brock. It has been a struggle all game as this one's quickly mopped up, too.
Well, that's just about textbook defense and how to shut down an RPO. The coverage was tight, the numbers were up, and then the bodies were there to stuff that run before it could get going.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Nix from the gun. He lofts it deep left. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
That was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Back to throw it. Completed over the middle. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
First down, Broncos.
On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Roll left side, taken in by Adams. And he has a gain of 4 on the run, which runs us up to the 2-minute warning.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Here he is to throw. Mims with the grab. And he's going to go out with a pickup of 3, so chipping away a few here ahead of this 3rd down. throwing now. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended target. So they're going to have to evaluate things now on 4th and short.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
Here we go with Dobbins. And they are sent off the field. They had to go for it. Defense knew it was coming. That's a turnover on downs. And they do not get a desperately needed first down. He doesn't make it, and they still trail after the turnover on downs. The Bears with some nice field position as they get set. 1st and 10. They're going to pass it here. And will he? No, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Oh, Gronk, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. It's taken in by Rome Odunze. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on 3rd down. He'll look to throw it. Escapes the pocket. And he gets back to the line, but no more. Now the Broncos take their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up. They'll send out the punting unit. Torrey Taylor will kick this away. So this one sails over the sideline, and they'll spot it where a touchback would go at the 20-yard line. So here comes the Bronco offense. They're coming off a 4th down try that didn't work in their favor. Let's see how that might affect the approach they take this time out. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass. No luck finding his receiver that time. And it's going to be 2nd down. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. To throw. That one finds his man, Ingram. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
He completes it in traffic. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
I'm not going to lie. I know they got a completion, and completions, you never turn them down. But to make that throw for those yards in the double coverage, that is way too much risk for that reward.
They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. Looking to throw it. He finds Adams, complete. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. So the Bears come away with a win. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for my partner Brock Huard and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears winners as we say so long from Chicago.